welcome to Four Weebs, That Anime Podcast. The podcast where we pick some animes and then talk about them because we're cool like that and we're totally not lame. My name is Veda and I'll be hosting the episode for this week, which is episode number 33. Hooray, we made it this far. Go us.
We're not dead yet.
Yeah, I know. We're actually still here. We're still alive and recording things. I'm sorry, this is a mess. What happened to Leah? Oh my god.
I think she got destroyed by the airplane that was flying over her house.
I was trying to mute it so you guys wouldn't have
I was
to
wondering,
listen to the
it
airplane.
sounded kind of like a washing machine.
And then apparently that just sounded terrible, so...
It's like a washing machine happening, like, right above, like the floor right above you.
Yeah.
I live by the airport, okay? I'm
It's
sorry.
okay. I understand.
We come with a bit of ambiance, you know?
There's spooky
Well,
background
hey,
music.
like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the least of our technical difficulties tonight. So.
Really is.
Oh.
Yes. It's been a while.
Shout out
Anyway,
to TeamSpeak.
I guess we'll just everybody say your name and introduce yourself now. I want to go.
I'm Liam. I'll introduce myself longer next episode, because we gotta pop this one out.
My name's Leah and I'm sleepy, so this will be interesting.
We're all sleepy.
Mm-hmm.
My name's Becca, and alright, ladies and germs, let's get judicial.
Ba-boom.
Was that from the anime?
Yeah.
You
I
always
was trying,
do
like, is
that
that just
every
Becca
time.
being
I'm
Becca, or
like-
what's going on?
No, I like taking the funny quotes, and the way it was said, it was really funny.
You're just
it's
stealing
great.
my ideas.
Excuse me, you have yet to have used a quote out of an anime, sir.
What? I used a quote out the last 2 episodes.
Okay, well,
Remember my epic kill a kill quote?
Yeah,
no,
that was like
no one
I do.
can top that.
I've
And then
been using quotes forever.
True.
Okay,
So
well,
maybe you stole my idea. You know what? We'll fight later. It's fine.
Yeah.
even if I
Yeah.
stole your idea, like that kill a kill one's pretty strong.
You know what? Everyone can
You
use
guys
any
are
quote.
both
Guys.
winners.
Yeah. Anybody
everybody is
who wants to use
equal.
a
We're
quote.
all wonderful people. And okay, this week
Okay,
I
Fight-
some of us
fight
are
me
one over the other.
IRL.
Let's just talk over Veda. She'll
Oh
get
my
so frustrated
god,
and leave.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
Fight me
kill
IRL
everyone.
right now.
You're all gonna. Yep.
Oh my god.
We're all.
it's already
This
been a long
week
night.
I picked the shows that we watched.
Sassy Veda is back.
Thank
so
you.
sassy.
And I decided we were gonna watch animes where people killed each other, so that was what we
Speak of the
watched.
devil.
Actually, there was no killing in our anime. Only a
True,
kid.
but they were trying to kill each other. So
Yeah.
Liam and I are
count
pretty
this.
much just on topic then.
I was
So-
just saying.
Yeah.
if that's what you think.
You're welcome. We're just setting the mood.
Anyway, so we're gonna talk about the Oh no, we'll explain that later. We're gonna talk about the bad anime for this week first.
Cool.
Because I'm gonna make you guys talk. Oh fuck, I'm sorry.
See, this is when you think that, like, releasing, like, an episode every 2 weeks would help us out, but really it doesn't.
It's
It
just
makes
made
us
it
worse.
worse.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
we need to
can't-
get back to 1 week.
I don't even
schedule.
know I don't even know anymore.
Get
took
it
a-
So, if you couldn't have figured out from the theme I picked for this week, the bad anime was Danganronpa, the animation. Or if you want the entire title, there's Danganronpa, Kibo no Gakuen Tozetsubo no Kokosei, the animation.
Tell me,
Obviously,
Veda.
so she can
On my
still
anime
speak
list.
Japanese.
Yeah. Every time she speaks in Japanese, just like, geez, did she just come over? Like, where's she from?
I know. I'm
So
an
talented.
egg.
Tell
There
us
you
what
go.
it's about, Veda. What's Danganronpa
What
about?
Anyway, Danganronpa is, here's the description from my enemy list.
Oh,
Host Peak
God.
Academy is an elite school that accepts only the most talented students. Individuals who successfully enroll receive their own unique titles, suitably reflective of their skills and traits. Of the 15 candidates admitted to the peculiar school that year, Makoto Naegi is a completely ordinary individual who has been accepted by sheer chance, with the title of Super High School Level Luck. Naegi and his fellow classmates are initially ecstatic to be chosen to study at the prestigious institution, but these feelings of happiness are short-lived. They are soon confronted by Monokuma, the principal and resident bear, who traps them inside the school. The pupils' hope of escape and graduation hinge on one of them successfully murdering one of their peers without being discovered. However, if the killer is caught, he or she will be executed, and the remaining survivors will be left to continue the deathmatch until only a single victor remains. So this week, Becca and Liam both watched this anime.
Yeah.
which is actually based off of a game that
Yep.
I've played. I haven't seen the anime,
Yes.
but I've played the game. So why don't you guys tell us your initial thoughts on this show?
Liam, do you want to start?
Sure.
Do
Well,
it.
my initial it kind of starts off with what I later discovered was just literally a cutscene from the video game.
Mm-hmm.
It starts off with kind of this like murder scene that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and then afterwards, Brenna explained it to me.
Right,
That, like,
yeah.
well,
The spaceship thing?
yeah, this random spaceship death at the beginning is
Yeah.
the actual principal of the school getting murdered by the evil bear man.
The bear. Yes.
So,
Yes.
I mean, that made the show make a lot of sense. And then getting into the actual episodes, it like it kind of like there wasn't a whole lot of animation, lots of dialogue. it was suggested to me that I watch the dub
Yeah.
because apparently it's pretty entertaining, which it was.
Yeah.
Entertaining in a bad way.
I turned
Yeah.
on the subtitles, and like the English translation versus what they actually said in the dub is like they're like as different as they can possibly be while maintaining the same like meaning.
Storyline.
Good for
So that
them.
was interesting. The character designs for the main character are pretty normal, but like every other character is like stylized to the extreme.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
each character has like their
Specific
reason
trait.
that they were admitted to the high school. Like one of them's the baseball guy, and one of them's the supermodel girl, and then one of them's like just this fucking ripped chick in a schoolgirl uniform that has Super Saiyan powers for some reason.
Yes.
And there's a lot of them, and they're all introduced at once, and it's hard to keep track of them all. But that was pretty entertaining.
Mhm.
Becca, why don't you cover the rest of the kind of
So-
intro?
So, this is the most anime-iest looking anime we've probably watched
Yeah.
yet.
Really?
Yeah, that was like my first thought. I was like, wow, this is anime. Like,
That's funny because it's
everybody
based off of a game.
Well,
I think
so,
yeah.
yeah, so like everybody, like Liam was saying, everybody looks like they're a main character out of like Yu-Gi-Oh!
Mm-hmm.
And this was a lot like watching a video game.
Yeah, it
I
definitely
was.
was.
I was having like flashbacks to having played Phoenix Wright.
Okay.
It felt a lot like playing that.
Yeah.
Which probably makes sense because I suspect maybe the gameplay is similar between the two games.
A little bit in the fact that you're solving crimes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that
Well,
was like
aren't they both pretty dialogue heavy?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
They're more like dialogue driven, and then like occasionally you get like mini games and stuff that you have to use.
Yeah. So like I said, it looked really anime-y, which like at first I was a little bit put off because I was like, there's too much wacky going on at one time.
Mhm.
But then kind of like dug into it. All cards on the table. I watched episode 1 and 2 like last week, and
Yeah.
I watched episode 3 this week. So episode 3 is the freshest in my memory.
Right.
And I watched episode 1 and 2 subtitled and episode 3 dubbed. So yeah, that's
I
my
mean,
initial thoughts.
All you
That's
need to
pretty
know for the plot of this show is that this evil teddy bear, who knows if he's an alien or a robot or what, but he's like half white and half black, and the black side is kind of evil looking, and he's trapped all these kids in this high school, and he's like, you can leave if you murder everybody else without getting caught and completely getting away with it.
Case, did it seem kind of convoluted to you, Liam? The entire like, you have to kill people but not get caught, but if you
Yeah.
do get caught, you get killed. But if everyone accuses someone else, they all die, and it just like it felt really convoluted
Yeah.
and like over the top.
Well, I mean, from what I'd heard before, it's just like they had to compress an entire game into 12 episodes, and
Yeah.
it just like didn't go very well.
Yeah.
No. That,
yeah,
that
he's
element
like,
is still in the game though, like that does
Convoluted.
happen in the game.
yeah. So
Excess rules.
they're all trapped inside the school, and they've got plenty of food and stuff. So like, the only way for them to escape is to kill everybody else. And
Actually, they only have
It's-
to kill one person and get away with it.
Yeah, if they get away with
okay.
it, they get to leave. Because
Right.
if everybody accuses the wrong person, then everybody else dies.
right, I
Everyone
forgot.
dies.
Yeah.
And there is a couple statements where someone tries to like attack the teddy bear and he's like, no, that's against the rules to touch me, it's strictly prohibited, and then one person ends up dying because of it. So I mean, I guess ours had some death.
Yeah. A lot of
yeah.
You know, my favorite part about the whole dying, like people being brutally murdered thing, is that they made all the blood hot pink.
Yeah, that was
So
interesting.
So first I was like, is everyone just splattered with paint? Are people not actually dying? No, they just chose to make all the blood hot pink, which is kind of a neat style choice. I'm suspecting that's so they can like give it a PG rating.
Yeah, it was so they could keep a lower rating on the game when they released it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured it was something like that.
Yeah. It tends to confuse people when they first see it. Everyone's like, what is that? Are they bleeding Pepto-Bismol? Like,
But it kind of matched with the, like, over-the-topness of, like, all of the character designs. Like,
yeah, I agree.
Like, I was discussing with Liam prior to recording the episode, the Sakura character, who's, like, one of two characters whose names I bothered remembering. I thought she was
more
a
than
man.
I remembered.
I thought she was a dude as well. When she first shows up, like, everyone thinks it's a dude.
And it wasn't until episode 3 I realized she was wearing, like, a schoolgirl sailor outfit. And I was like, that's a weird style choice for a, like, really big, beefy man. And then I realized that it was a girl. And I was like, oh, wow, like, good for her. She's ripped. Sweet. And that's like, there's like the guy that has like the super big afro dreads and
the mystic fortune teller.
Yeah, like everybody's character design is inspired by like Yu-Gi-Oh! Like
probably the worst one though is the biker. With his like it's like the pointy fluffy pompadour ever. It's like a unicorn horn, but a pompadour.
I don't know. The one that really bugged me was the really, like, heavy guy that, like, looks like a cat with, like,
with the
really nerdy voice.
Yeah, and, like, really annoying. He drove me at the wall. I was like, I really hope you're the killer. So you're just gone after this episode.
I don't blame you for not liking him.
Yeah, he was super, super annoying, and I don't know, though. That all having been said, I wasn't necessarily... I didn't not like this anime.
Yeah, I didn't.
That's fair.
I didn't hate it. Unfortunately, like outside factors to this, like Brenna and some other people had told me a lot about Danganronpa before, and apparently, like if you want the best Danganronpa experience, play the game or just watch a playthrough of the game on YouTube because the anime is not like it's just not what it should have been because it's like so much compressed into such a small story.
Yeah.
But I've also found out they're working on a new anime sequel. It's like a sequel to one of the games that comes after, and apparently like the
confusing. Yeah, because they have two animes that are being released right now, and it's just like, okay, if you're not playing the game, don't watch the new animes because that'll spoil shit for the game. Like just.
I mean,
it gets crazy.
All that aside, I guess the game studio actually has like their fingers into the anime studios this time.
Right now, yeah.
So the anime is supposed to be better off this time.
See,
it is so far.
See, I watched it on Funimation, and I didn't really think the quality was necessarily bad. Like, it felt a lot like that trashy TV show that you watch knowing it's not necessarily good, but it's good enough to, like, attract your attention with the shiny, flashy colors. And, like, there's a bunch of different, like, style changes to the animation, which I didn't necessarily dislike because they all were pleasing to the eye. Like,
I think the big style changes were actually, they're just reusing cutscenes from the video game.
Yeah, I kind of assumed that, but I was like... It's not like they're chopping it up and, like, they cut to one scene and it's, like, I don't know, they kept it all together as just one animated chunk, so I didn't
It's
mind
no
it.
gravitation.
And this is no, like, 009-1.
No.
Like, it definitely... Don't expect anything deep from this anime, but if you just want something to, like, glaze out to and just, like, giggle at for a while, it wasn't horrible, like...
Yeah.
It holds your attention.
Yeah, we've watched much worse things on this podcast.
So are you gonna watch any more? I'll just skip right to the juicy question.
this is a hard question for me, because I'm like, it's only 12 episodes. That means I totally could just watch, like, the rest of it in 3 hours.
Yeah.
But that's still 3 hours.
But that's still 3 hours. I could be watching something else, like other trashy television I like, or Game of Thrones, or
You could rewatch Madoka Magica.
yeah,
and almost finish it.
Or Death Parade.
Or I could go
Or
watch,
anything.
finish Kisniver, or like there's so many
Yeah,
other things
I have
that I
to
could be
finish
doing.
that.
You still haven't finished
I still have to
Kisniver?
finish that too,
Don't
actually.
yell!
Oh
Veda!
my gosh, you guys!
Some of us have more important things to do than just keep watching anime every single day all the time.
I don't even
Veda.
know why I stopped watching it, because, like, it was really good.
I
did
caught up.
It's slow paced. It's not one of those ones that you binge.
Yeah.
That's
So
how I feel about it.
Yeah, that's fair.
So on the topic
Yeah.
of Kisniver, I have gone back like 2 times to try to just like finish up those last 3 episodes.
Mhm.
And every time I start it, I'm like, fuck, I don't want to watch this right now. I want to watch something else. Because the part that I'm at in Kisniver is where it's like getting really heavy and like
Right,
shit
yeah.
might happen.
Don't spoil anything.
I'm still only on, like, episode 7.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah, I'm
about-
about the halfway point.
Come on,
I
guys.
think I'm on episode 9. So there's only 3 episodes left. So I'll finish Kisniver eventually, Veda. Quit yelling at us.
Tisk tisk.
What
But
did you
anyways.
think of Danganronpa, Leo? Will you keep watching it?
Probably not, but I've gotten lots of kind of input on the subject.
Mm-hmm.
Like
yeah.
I've
You already
I'm
know some stuff.
watching through Full Metal Panic right now, and I think that fills kind of the need that Danganronpa does, or just there's better lighter shows to watch.
Yeah.
Also,
I can see that.
not anime related, but I haven't been watching Kisniver because I've been watching Stranger Things.
Ooh, good
Which
choice.
I
good
hear
too.
good things about.
Me too.
It's not anime, but I'll mention it here briefly because gotta love that synth.
And the 80s references.
I haven't watched any of it, so.
Yeah, I mean, should we wrap up Danganronpa?
Yeah, like I wish I had more to say about it, but it really is
That's
just
okay.
like everybody's so anime-y, and it feels like watching a video game, and that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean,
but-
like, it's worth it to watch the first episode just to see the introduction of all the ridiculous characters.
Yeah. I will say, it drove me up the wall that the main character is like, he's like, I don't even know why I'm here. I'm not special. For like the 5th time now that we've watched an anime, well, maybe it's only the 3rd time, but like the 3rd time that the main character is complete, like, Mary Sue. They're not special at all, but they're super special at the same time.
That tends to happen a lot with video game adaptations because when you play them as a video game character, you're supposed to like project
be
yourself onto
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
So then they end up making the anime character completely dull because they're like, I don't know how to characterize a character with
And we
no
don't want to
character.
pick just one direction, because
Yeah.
people will be like, that's not how
Pretty
my
deep,
character
dude.
was.
Yeah, well, and I kind of figured that was the reason why it was done that way, but I was just like, for fuck's sakes, like, can you not put any more, like, I don't know. That just made me go, like, again.
Honestly, though, Naegi doesn't have that much characterization anyway.
No, he
so.
really doesn't. His characterization is, oh my god, she died, but she was my friend. That's his characterization.
And I'm a good and hope
Yeah.
and shit. And it's
I
like,
didn't kill her. I know it wasn't
I'm
me.
a good.
I'm a good.
Shut up.
Poor Veda's running like 3 hours behind us.
Actually, 3 hours ahead.
3 hours ahead of us.
I want to hear about Assassination Classroom because I've seen merch and posters for it a lot.
Yeah. Alright. So
Alright. Do it.
the good anime for this week was Assassination Classroom, also known as Ansatsu Kyoushitsu.
Oh,
And
That Veda.
me and Leah both watched this. So I'll read you the nice description from my anime list. When a mysterious creature chops the moon down to a permanent crescent, the students of Class 3E of Kunugigaoka Middle School find themselves confronted with an enormous task. Assassinate the creature responsible for the disaster before the Earth suffers a similar fate. However, the monster, dubbed Koro-sensei, the indestructible teacher, is able to fly at speeds of up to Mach 20, which he demonstrates freely, leaving any attempt to subdue him in his extraterrestrial dust. Furthermore, the misfits of 3E soon find that the strange tentacled beast is more than just indomitable. He is the best teacher they have ever had. Hooray! So that's the description that they have.
that's sounds pretty wacky.
No,
And yeah,
it's
just
me.
so everyone
is.
knows, the Koro Sensei is like this weird yellow smiley face octopus-like thing.
I had to look him
Tentacles
up.
that,
He
that
looks
squelch when he moves.
he looks
Mhm.
really unsettling. Like just the
Yeah.
eyes. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
his
it's
little dots
supposed
for
to look
eyes.
like that.
Mhm. Yeah,
So,
I will say, speaking of his appearance, some of my initial thoughts, I'm just gonna be that inappropriate guy
Nope.
who says it.
Nope, do
But
it.
like his hands are like
Oh, no!
super weird because like out of his one tentacle it goes in, it literally looks almost like two balls, like
Yeah.
which remind me of testicles, and then like
No.
his like he's got
He's-
two fingers that stick out and they move really weird, and I just don't enjoy it at all.
It's
He's
kind
got
of
thick
it's
fingers.
phallic looking.
It
That's
is
pretty
definitely
sexual.
phallic. It's
And
really
then-
phallic.
And then there was like one point in I don't know the second episode where he like starts like grabbing that one kid
Mm-hmm.
with like all of his
Yep.
tentacles, and he's like, "I'm feeling your body for some reason. I don't know to test his potential or something."
And all
you're
you
just
can
like,
focus
"Oh,
on is
God."
his phallic hands, and you're like,
And I'm
oh
just
god,
like,
this is weird.
This looks like it's going in a bad direction
Mhm.
already. That was
Tell
fast.
me more.
Mhm.
So we'll go backwards a bit. Leah, do you want to tell me, like, is that your whole first impression of the show?
I'd say it's
Was-
good enough.
Koro
Enough
Sensei
said
was
there.
phallic. Okay.
The main character has phallic hands.
hmm
I don't know.
Um,
I'm
So there
signed
isn't
off.
like a student that's the protagonist?
Yeah, there is.
There is, and I guess another initial thought. I
Um,
sound like such a judgmental cow here, but
No, no,
okay,
no.
the main character,
Yes.
I don't know his name. Oh, Karma, right?
Mhm.
Something like that?
Nagi-san?
I don't
Something like that.
I don't know. Anyway,
Let me go check.
the first time you see the main character, they're like sitting down, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nagisa.
And I swear, yeah, for one, the name is Nagisa, so I was thinking of Clanid, which is female. Anyway, so
No.
you see the character like sitting down, and like the character's got like blue hair and like almost like pigtails.
So
you
anime.
totally think it's a girl.
I thought
And,
it
like,
was a girl.
And the voice actor is definitely a female.
Oh, yeah.
But then the kid stands up and like he's got like more like a boys' school uniform on, and I was at first I'm like, oh, maybe it's like she's just like a more like
She's
like,
just
edgy
dressing in a
dressing,
boy's uniform.
whatever, you know what I mean? But then you see all the other female characters and they're in like actual skirt uniforms, so it's like, and then he has a conversation with someone. Anyway, I'm like, okay, I guess you're a dude, and it's not like it's not like it's abnormal to have female voice actors do male
Mhm.
characters, but you can still tell usually that the character's male.
Oh,
Whereas
yeah.
this character, you're like, no, like I definitely just feel like you're a female, and it's kind of distracting. I don't know if
I
it like,
felt the same way.
yeah,
don't
like
worry.
I don't know if it comes in at any point. Maybe he's
From-
like gay or something.
From
I don't
what
know.
I was
Transgendered.
Yeah, or
Uh,
transgender, which is totally fine, but it's just kind of distracting for the first 3 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
From the comments I was reading after I watched it, there is a reason, but I don't know completely what the reason is.
That's
Well, that's
cool.
helpful.
All I wanted
It's
to know
something
really is that
traumatic.
there's a reason.
That's all I really know.
Yeah, which, like I said, that's cool. As long as I'm just happy to know there's a reason, because otherwise I
Mhm.
feel like it'd be kind of a distracting thing to just not do anything with it. So
No,
I'm
there's-
happy to
there's
hear that there's
definitely
a reason.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just gonna say dick fingers plus a character that's portraying their gender to be kind of awkward and weird. I
You're
bet his
in.
backstory is awkward and weird.
Like, stop, my penis can only get so erect.
Oh god.
That's what you're thinking, right, Becca?
No, I'm thinking like maybe this poor kid was like sexually assaulted, and his way of responding is to portray himself as a girl, so he'll be left alone, and that's really, really sad. And I feel like I'm like reaching too far, but that was my first thought.
Hey, maybe that's the whole thing.
That-
Maybe the
that
kid's
might be
dreaming
right.
this entire thing up
Ooh.
to escape from his reality.
Ooh,
Well,
that
you
would
just
be
got
s-
edgy and dark there.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we should write Animalia.
We should do it. Let's do it.
All our
Um,
characters can look like Yu-Gi-Oh characters
Yes.
to offset the dark edginess of it all.
Hey, that it works for other
Doesn't that
shows
just make it edgier?
Well,
in a different
yes.
way.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Anyway,
Make
keep
it
telling
edgier
me.
without people realizing it just got really edgy.
Yeah.
Keep telling me about it. What more do I need to know?
My first impression of the show was that it was a lot more lighthearted than I was expecting from something
Mhm.
called Assassination Classroom. Like, the intro starts up, and you're like, oh, cool, it's like kind of like this dark moon, and it's, ooh, and then all of a sudden, like, it just goes ba ba ba, and they're like all dancing, like all of the students are doing this like coordinated dance routine, and you're like, oh,
I love dancing.
it was beautiful, but I was
Interesting.
like, this is not what I was expecting, and they're all like cute and happy, and there's like rainbow colors everywhere,
Yeah.
and everybody's happy.
I was expecting more of like an Angel Beats kind of thing.
Yeah, something
But-
a bit. I was expecting like, you know, electric guitar, like.
No, I don't mean the opening. I just mean the show
Oh.
in general. Like,
Anyway, sorry, I'm going crazy right now. Yes. What were we talking about?
that was your initial impression.
Yeah,
Emma?
that was all I had for my initial impression, was that it was lighthearted. Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
enough edge for a show called Assassination Classroom.
Yeah, it wasn't edgy enough.
Mhm.
I need
Yeah,
more
but
edge.
basically all you really need to know, Becca. So yeah, there's the like yellow tentacle Koro Sensei who like
Mhm.
permanently blew up a section of the moon or destroyed it, whatever. So it's only like a crescent moon now.
You know what? The moon
And-
probably had it coming. Little bitch.
Fuck the moon.
Whoa.
yo.
And he
Fight.
basically told like the Earth that they had, I think, like, what is it, a month?
I think it
Or
was
a
a year.
No, it's a year. They have
Yeah.
1 year to like basically save their planet, or the same thing's gonna happen to them as the moon.
Oh my
Mhm.
god.
And he
Mhm.
basically said his condition is he wanted to teach that one class 3E. Otherwise they
Yeah,
could
3E.
try and kill him like as much as they want, just as long as they let him like stay on Earth and teach this class.
Yeah.
So the
So
government
It's so weird.
3E
So
is like
he's-
a delinquent class.
Oh.
So like this one
Well,
high
like-
school, so people with like poor grades or delinquents or whatever all get sent up to this school on the like top of this abandoned hill.
It's
and
so
that's-
dramatic though.
Yeah.
Like there's it's this really prestigious school, and then they have like this one classroom that's just in this abandoned shack school at the top of a
Oh.
mountain, and only the
Mhm.
worst students get sent there, and they're all like, I don't want to be sent to 3E.
Is it
Mhm.
like
I'm a good student. Don't.
Is it like Breakfast Club?
No.
No. I wish it was.
Should be.
That would be
Just
cool.
Just imagine they're all like, "Man, I'm here for Saturday detention," and then this alien shows up and is like, "I'm your teacher now. Get ready, motherfuckers."
Yeah, that's so much like
That
Breakfast
would be
Club. Holy
awesome.
shit.
Well, I mean,
The
like,
nail on the head.
Well, it's all about like delinquent, like people that shouldn't get along, realizing that they can get along together. Maybe then they all like hug Mr. Octopus penis hands and just go
Oh,
up to
God.
Earth. Maybe that's the story. I had to look. I looked it up 3 weeks ago when it was assigned, just to like see what the octopus dude looks like.
Mm-hmm.
That's the extent of what I know about the show at all. So I'm basically just rating my own show over here in the corner.
You do that.
Yours sounds
you
more
keep that for
exciting anyways.
a rainy day, Becca.
Yeah.
So what happens in your 3 episodes then?
So basically, his
Yeah.
condition is wants to teach that class. So then the government like comes in, and especially this one government official guy comes in and is like to the class right in front of Koro Sensei, being like, "It's your job to kill him over the next year, and anyone who
knows, yeah.
succeeds gets like what, $1 million."
It was like a big ass like 10 million yen or something. I don't
Yeah,
know, something
like,
crazy like
A
that.
lot of money, hella money.
A load of money.
So the first
Money,
episode
money, money.
starts with them all sitting in their classroom with Koro Sensei at the front, and they all like, what is he about
It's
to take
like-
attendance
It's like
or something?
the
And then they
first
all
minute,
and they all whip out their machine guns,
and they just start like ripping him off at him. And, like,
and he's
like, what
moving
is-
at like superhuman speed, and just like
Like Neo
but
in
he's
the
still like
Matrix.
calling out roll.
yeah, at the same time.
That
It's
sounds
And
kind
then
of
at the end, he's
amazing.
like, "Better luck next time," basically, and they're all, it's like such a everyday occurrence. They're all like, "Oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
That sucks. Let's
Oh,
have
but
class now."
Also, the whole thing is like he's basically indestructible.
Mhm.
Except for like this certain type of weapon that the government has created that can kill him, but it doesn't like harm humans. Like
They're
they
like
don't-
these little pellet bullets. That,
yeah, instead
yeah.
of like actual bullets, and they have like rubber knives that don't cut skin, but they'll cut him.
I was gonna ask, do you
Okay.
think his weakness is love?
I don't know, like it's definitely gonna go that way because you can tell, like the kids all like start to respect him as an instructor.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
because he's like actually a good teacher. Like he's actually helping them
Mhm.
get over their issues and
So
shit.
I think it's gonna turn into them trying to figure out his
Gonna
issues
be-
and why he destroyed the moon and blah blah
Yeah.
blah blah.
Gonna
Oh
be
my
sentimental and shit.
Yeah.
Or maybe they'll just end up killing him. Maybe
They're
it'll be
just
a
gonna-
mixture of both. I don't know.
Maybe that's how they lull him into a false sense of security. They spend 11 episodes becoming friends, becoming the best of lovers, becoming like one and only one, and then they stab him in the face in this episode 12 and are like, yay, world saved.
No, there's a second season, so I'm sure he doesn't die at the end of the first season.
Well, damn.
Well, dang.
They need 2 seasons to learn how to love.
Yeah.
Those are some really damaged children.
Yeah, I get the feeling like it's definitely going to be a more character-driven show than it is like plot-driven. But I get the feeling that like at some point everybody's going to have like their tragic backstory revealed, and it's going to be really emotional.
You can tell they're
going to be like, oh no.
they're starting you off slow.
Yeah, very.
Like with the characters' stories, like the ones you get introduced to are so like not a big deal right now. Like the one guy who wants to be a baseball star.
Yeah.
And Koro Sensei basically says, "Oh, you'll never be as good as this one player if you want to be." This is
Whatever
so
the hell he wants
embarrassing.
to
I don't
be.
remember. I don't know what the positions are in baseball, but like
A pitcher. He wants to pitch.
he's like, "You'll never be a pitcher, but you have a good wrist, so you can be a."
Oh no.
Or I think
No,
it's
wait,
like he
no,
wanted to
it
be a
was-
batter,
he wants
he
to
can be a
pitch-
pitcher.
No, no, no.
If,
Becca.
He wants
I
to
don't know.
pitch a certain way.
Oh no.
oh my god, I didn't even think of that.
No.
Becca,
He
you
wants
heard.
to pitch like his baseball idol, but he can't because his wrists are too weak. But then the teacher
other way
like
around.
the teacher like feels them up, and then he's like, "Oh, your wrists are better
With his
suited to
phallic
this
hands.
movement." Yeah. Yeah.
You know, if there's a number of ways one could strengthen their wrist, that doesn't necessarily involve. No, I'm not going to go there.
No,
It's
no, no,
too
no, no,
late.
no.
It's too late.
Oh
I'm too
my
tired for
goodness.
this.
Me too.
Anyway,
That yeah, and then like, well, I mean, they do introduce that like edgy kid that I know everyone's gonna
this
love.
one guy who like
Karma, I think is his name.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking of Karma.
Sounds like
Karma,
an edgy name.
who they
It is
like
edgy.
break
Does he
out
have-
of like juvie to like
Yeah.
help try and
Oh,
assassinate
he
the
got
teacher.
suspended, and then
Yeah.
they like
Because he like attempted to kill a teacher before, even though he didn't actually. He just kind of ruined his life.
So they
Yep.
hired the one guy that they know for sure can't complete the job.
Well, he actually managed to get like some damage
hits
done
in.
to Koro Sensei, but then at the end, it's like Koro Sensei caught on to him, and now it's like
Koro Sensei he knows what's up,
Yeah.
and he's like, I'm not falling for that shit no more.
Mm-hmm.
It seems such an interesting premise where they're like, you're all the delinquents. Learn how not to be delinquents. Oh, by the way, this alien that's going to be teaching you for the next year, try and kill him while you're learning.
That is
Yeah.
pretty much
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
Dead on.
Like,
That is it.
I don't know. You're making it sound. I'm kind of curious. Like, just what's like the because you said that the tone is more lighthearted than you were expecting.
Mhm.
Like, I'm curious.
What?
Like, does anybody ever die? Do people ever kill anybody? It's called
No,
Assassination
it's
Classroom.
Not in the first 3 episodes.
No, it's kind of weird because it's not what you're expecting when you start watching it. You're not
Mhm.
necessarily disappointed, but
Mhm.
you just kind of have to adjust for a minute. Like, the
Yeah.
first minute is about what you expect.
Mhm.
You know, I was
Yeah.
expecting it to be more like dark humor and stuff like that, you know, like when they start
Me too.
off with just, you know, shooting these machine guns at this instructor.
Mhm.
But then it almost gets a little bit slice of life on you, and you're like, I don't know what's happening right now, but you're
But it's kind of like
But
goofy
it's-
and ridiculous enough for you to be like, oh, this is kind of funny because I
Yeah.
didn't expect it to go there.
like it's still enjoyable.
Mhm.
And like you can kind of see like how it will probably definitely go in a darker direction.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But then at the same time, I don't know, the show didn't exactly like capture me either.
Yeah, no.
I don't know.
Yeah,
But then I
feel the
also
same
get
way,
why
like,
people really like it. Like, I don't know.
Like I was oh my god, my train of thought is really shitty right now. Where was I going with this? I was looking at stuff about this show, and I just noticed that I like really was unconcerned about being spoiled about anything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And like other shows, I would be like, "Oh God, I can't see the spoilers because I want to experience it for myself." But for some reason, I can't put my finger on why I just can't care. I guess.
I'm the same way. Like, it's a good show, but you just don't end up all that invested. Like, I don't know.
And I'm like, with a character-driven show, you should, you should be invested in at least one character where you're like, I really kind of want to know what their deal is, and I want to see them experience it, like, for myself. But right now, at this point, like, you haven't been introduced in depth enough to one character to really care about any one person, except for maybe Koro-sensei.
Yeah, like, I think that's kind of the problem. Like, yeah, Koro-sensei is kind of the only one you really have any intrigue with, because there's this whole class of students, and, like, you could say you get to know the main guy, like, a little bit, but I wouldn't even really say that. Like, every episode is kind of just a teeny bit about, like, some different person, but not enough for you to actually really care about them in any way. Like, you don't know their name, you don't care about their personality, they don't really have one. Yeah. This, that,
it's a bit, like, bland.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying it's, like, it's bad, because I'm intrigued by the premise.
Yeah.
But I feel like I should also be intrigued by the characters, and at this point I'm just not.
Maybe it's a matter of, like, a really good premise, but not good execution.
Maybe.
Because I feel like we've seen that a few times now, where it's like, the idea of the anime sounds great, but then when you watch it, it's just like, it kind of falls a little bit flat, because it's missing something key.
I think maybe, like, this one will get better the further you go into it.
I think so, too. Yeah. Like, I really get that vibe. Like, I think flat's a good word. That's really how it seems right now. It definitely has the potential to go further. Especially if, like, they'll probably end up narrowing in on, like, a handful of characters.
Yeah. That is when it'll probably get more interesting.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. Well, I don't even know if I will see, but we can get to that after.
Fair
enough. I don't know. I added it to my to-check-out list.
It's still worth checking out. Yeah. Like, it's enjoyable, and like I said, like, I get it. I get why people are like, oh, Assassination Classroom. Like, it's fun. It's just a little more... I want to say, like... I was going to say it's a little more mindless than you're expecting, but it's not necessarily mindless. It's just...
It's not as deep as you think.
At least not right off the bat, anyway. No. Because you hear this plot, and you're introduced to this plot in the first, like, 10 minutes of the first episode, and then you go slice of life, and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, it's a little bit like the Whiplash.
Yeah.
So,
but it's still good.
I think it's one of those things where, like, you probably have to watch 1 or 2 more episodes, and then I think you would know how it was going to be.
Yeah, I agree. Do you want to move into, like, closing thoughts? Kind of. Anything else to say?
I don't know. I think I covered a lot of it.
I was gonna say, the character designs. I did like the character designs. I think part of me just likes the lines they have on them, where they're, like, thicker almost than usual anime lines, and I'm just like, ooh, I kind of like that comic booky feel.
Is it like Attack on Titan style?
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah,
a little bit. I know. I was trying to think of something to compare that to actually while I was watching it. Attack on Titan's not a bad one to compare it to. Actually, what studio did this? Do we know?
Oh shoot, let me go look it up. But yeah, I that was just something I noticed, because I was like, oh, this looks different from other animes I've seen.
I always really like a nice thick line.
Studio Lerche?
What else have they done?
Danganronpa.
Oh. Well.
Thea, you did that intentionally.
I did not. Monster Musume. Gakko Urashi. Danganronpa.
Nothing really notable besides Danganronpa?
Maybe stuff other people would know, but I don't. The heck? The other thing I recognize is, Monster Musume and Gakko Gurashi.
Huh.
Maybe, no, I don't. Ri Hamatora?
Nah, I don't recognize anything. I want to scroll through it.
This is interesting. I don't recognize any of these. That's funny. That's funny that they did Danganronpa. I had no idea. I mean,
it's almost
just new.
It's like you planned it.
I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I totally did. It was, my brain planned it without me thinking about it.
My brain does it all the time.
That's what they're for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. In closing, I was gonna say, I like the kind of like weirdly happy vibe, but also with like progressing
kind
to
of
dark
sadistic
undertones.
at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, like more not morbid, but like dark humor
Mm-hmm.
in a way. I like the tone in that regard. And I, in my personal opinion, I would keep watching. Just like you said, I think it's one of those shows where you have to watch maybe 1 or 2 more episodes to really get a feel for it, just to like figure out where it's trying to go with the ideas and everything.
Yeah, I basically feel the same way you do. It's just kind of weird. I liked it, but I don't feel like captured by it either.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like part of me wants to go and watch another episode or 2, because like again I can see how it would get good. But
yeah, same.
But at the same time, like I don't know.
Right? And like I said, the thing about the spoilers, like it's so weird. I just don't care if I see something.
Yeah,
like,
I don't. Someone could
whatever.
Like, just tell me what happens, and I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and like side note here, I actually did finish Hunter x Hunter.
For real?
Oh, really?
It's 148 episodes long. I had no idea.
Oh my god, Veda.
Holy, how long did that take you?
I binged it, but like for that show, I was so concerned about coming across spoilers because I was like, oh my god, I don't want to know what happens because I want to experience the feels all fresh, and oh my god. I could talk about Hunter x Hunter all day if you asked me to, so I won't right now.
Really?
But yes, I could. Anyway, but yeah, I cared so much, and for this show, I like even the first 3 episodes where I was just like, I can't care about it that much.
I know you
I don't know
want
why.
to really like you want to be
That's
really
the
liking
thing.
it, but you're kind of just like, this is enjoyable.
Meh.
Is it maybe a matter of like just poor timing? Like if you were at
It could be
in a different mood, you would be more invested, but
I don't know. I think it
it's
really
hard to
comes
say.
down to the characters. The only one I find intriguing is Koro Sensei. The rest of them, I'm just like, even the main character who technically has something interesting going on, like now that I know that, you know, there's a reason why he's more feminine, I'm still just like, eh.
Right? Where it's
Whatever.
just like, I could take it or leave it. And that's honestly kind of how I feel. But I still like the show.
Me too. Like,
maybe
I like
it'd
it.
be like,
If people were like, oh, have you like heard or watched Assassination Classroom? I'd be like, oh yeah, like it's good.
it's pretty good, but it's not like
Give it a
my
try.
favorite. I don't think I could see this anime being like my favorite of all time.
See, I almost feel like now that I know there's 2 seasons, I don't want to watch it unless it gets like really good. But I'm like, how can you make 2 seasons out of the show? I mean, I could be really wrong.
I don't
There's
know.
many things you could do, but
it's really hard at this point to tell where it's going. So I'm just like, I'm curious on that regard. At the same time, like I'm like, I don't know. It's really low on my priorities.
Me too.
I'm just gonna go and read all the spoilers, and I'll tell you guys if it's worth it or not.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I don't care about spoilers unless I'm really heavily invested in something. So
it depends for me.
I'll let you know if it's better.
But yeah.
Anyway, yeah. That's all I really have to say about it.
Final note. My comparison to this would be like, because I've played Danganronpa and I know the sort of tone it's going for. Danganronpa is more like a serious tone with like slight bits of humor thrown in, especially with the dialogue. Like there'll usually be like weird dialogue shit that people will say.
It felt like a lot of like punny humor, and like it's supposed to be like you're supposed to spend a lot of time laughing, but it's so at the same time it's so serious because everyone's dying. Like I don't know, it didn't strike me as a serious anime.
Yeah, the dub definitely went more the humor route.
Yeah, and like just the way like the bear kind of like keeps popping up and reminding people of rules and stuff. I don't know. It didn't feel like it was supposed to necessarily be taken as serious.
No, like I don't mean like it's gonna be like, I don't know, Death Note or something where you're supposed to be like constantly like, oh no, the drama.
Yeah.
But like it's more of like you're supposed to take like people are dying and you're supposed to like feel for them dying. Later on anyway.
You'd have to assume
like it's more kind of dark in that way. Assassination Classroom is like the opposite of that.
Okay.
In where it's like lighthearted with dark elements thrown in, where Danganronpa is dark with light elements thrown in. So That was my comparison.
I feel like I'm gonna have to go watch an episode just to
Yeah, well,
see.
it's kind of one of those things where it starts off a little darker, or like the sadistic, I think is just a good word for it, because you're kind of like lighthearted and feel funny about it, but then you kind of remember like what's actually going on, and you're kind of like, this is actually kind of fucked up.
Well, yeah,
Or,
and you're
like-
like, the whole world is gonna blow
And,
up at
yeah,
some
and
point.
sometimes the teacher will kind of like make comments, or like I guess one bigger thing we didn't talk about in the first or the second episode is the main character basically was kind of getting bullied by these two guys, and kind of got bullied into basically almost being like a suicide bomber to try and kill the teacher.
Oh.
I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
and
They strap a grenade to his neck.
yeah,
That's fucked up.
yeah. Like, things like that where, but then when you're watching the show, you don't really think of it as a big deal, but then, just right now,
like,
we stop and we're talking about it, and we're like, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
And, like, anyway,
But, like,
so he ends up going up to
shit
the
like
teacher
that'll
to, like,
happen.
yeah. He
And then
goes
2
up,
seconds later, like, something, like, Coral Sensei will be in a cooking costume or something, and you're like, what?
yeah, because so the kid goes up to, like, you know, like, let off the bomb, like, right in front of Koro Sensei, and he does, but, the teacher manages to, like, wrap himself, because he's so fast, he basically, he like, got rid of the grenade, shed his skin, and put it around the kid, so he was, like, safe from the bomb, and then he gets, like, enraged, angry, and goes all, like, crazy, and not because they almost killed him, but because they almost killed the
kid.
student.
Yeah.
And and then all of a sudden he'll be back to being like, okay.
Yeah, and then it'll just be, like, happy and weird and quirky.
So I think that's the only, out of the 3 episodes, that was kind of the only scene that actually kind of grabbed my attention at all. Otherwise, I was really
same.
like, ugh. Like, the one episode, which is pretty much him helping the guy who wants to be a baseball player, was just totally like...
The second episode was just really bland.
Yeah, it was just like, okay, we're done yet?
Oh, there was, like, this is totally unrelated to anything plot related, but at one point, Koro Sensei is marking, like, their English papers, and I'm always like, ha ha ha, what kind of English can I find on this?
Yeah.
So, of course, I paused it, and I was, like, reading the paper that, it was the main character's, like, test or whatever that he was writing. And at one point at the bottom, it just says, like, this entire sentence about how this kid's favorite food is sushi, and they went to, like, the sushi shop for his dad's birthday, and his favorite ingredient is octopus, and I was like, oh no. And then, like, the last line on the paper is, I wonder what the taste of his, referring to Koro Sensei's, tentacle is like, and I was like...
Wow, I'm not that observant. I wish I had picked up on that. That's so
Especially
funny.
when you consider that his tentacles look like little phallic.
Really phallic.
Oh boy.
Oh
feel
my
like,
god.
I feel like this might be something that's, like, right up my alley. I'm gonna check it out.
I had to read that. So there you go. There's that little tidbit for any of you if you want to pause it. And I think it's in the second episode.
This is all I need, is some dirty jokes. And a suicide bombing.
It was...
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know. It's worth going to watch. You might end up being really into it. you know?
Yeah.
I'll be the only one. I'll be like, but guys, no, really, you have to watch it. It's so good.
I think it's like, I don't know. I don't even know who to recommend it to.
Yeah.
It's just sort of like, you kind of have to watch it and, like, understand what's going on for yourself, and then figure out if you like that kind of thing or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I stand. Sorry that went so long.
Well,
Yeah, we're like, last thoughts, never mind.
Yeah.
should we move on to the picks for this week?
Yes.
Yes, probably.
Liam,
Thank you
you
for
still
listening
there?
to Ramble.
Yay. So, Liam, I believe, was our red marble person last week.
Hey.
Yeah.
Right?
So, every single episode I ask this.
Marbles first.
Marbles first.
Marbles. Do the
Who wants to go?
herbs.
who wants
You
to
should
I'll
just
go
put a
first.
just put a sticky on your screen, Becca. Marbles first.
Me
I'm just
first.
gonna keep asking until I figure out some way to remember this, and then I'll forget anyway. Who would like to go first?
Me.
Liam gets a white marble. Whee! Who wants to go
Right.
next?
I'll go next.
Veda gets the red marble.
Oh my god!
I'm
Yeah,
never
you're
gonna pick
lucky.
anime again.
I guess not.
Maybe we can veto it.
It's fine. It's honestly
We'll
fine.
discuss this off the episode.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll chitty chat. Anyway, Veda, who do you want to watch crap with you?
I want to watch Crap with Becca.
Oh my god. Okay.
I haven't talked to you in a while, Becca.
Becca's like, why did I ask? Damn it.
Yeah, if I just kept my goddamn mouth shut, I wouldn't be in this situation.
Okay,
Yeah, it feels like we haven't
you ready
chatted
for
a
the
while.
theme?
Come down the hole with me.
Yes.
So the theme is science fiction police anime, except one is like pretty dark and cyberpunky.
If one's
And then-
psychopath, I've
Cyberpunk.
already seen it.
It's not psychopath.
Okay.
And then one is like comedy and ecchi.
Oh
Dear. Oh god. Oh no.
So the
I feel like I know which one I want.
the
but-
good anime is Ghost in the Shell standalone complex.
There you go.
Ooh.
So some of you might know I'm a big Ghost in the Shell fan if you're early listeners. And this is the first TV show spin-off to the hit 1995 movie.
Ghost in the Shell.
So, in the not-so-distant future, mankind has advanced to a state where complete body transplants from flesh to machine are possible. This allows for great increases in both physical and cybernetic prowess and blurring the lines between the two worlds.
Leah.
Some sort of airplane or
Special
vehicle.
effects.
What is happening?
It's the cyberpunk
I don't even
happening.
hear anything. Hold on.
Maybe it was someone
Everyone, shh.
Gone now.
I have no idea what the fuck that
That
is.
was
It's
spooky.
gone. So,
It was the Ghost in the
anyways,
Shell.
criminals use this technology, leading to new and sometimes very dangerous crimes. In response to such innovative new methods, the Japanese government has established Section 9, an independently operating police unit which deals with such highly sensitive crimes.
Cool.
That's all I'll read of that for now.
What year is the anime? Sorry, I'm just curious in comparison to the movie.
98.
The anime, or this show came out in 2002, actually.
Oh, there you go.
I'm not sure if this came out before the second movie or not. There's a lot of different Ghost in the Shell stuff, so if you're confused about it, just look it up. There's a lot of helpful charts out there.
You know, it's particularly
and some of them
topical.
are prequels, like the Arise stuff that's come out. The newest stuff is all prequel stuff, but this standalone complex is sequel to the movie, or not sequel to. This comes like right before the 1995 movie, so after the Arise. We'll see if I'm right about that next week. Anyways,
Particularly
I've heard-
topical because there's supposed to be a live remake with Scarlett Johansson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That
We
we've
can
heard-
talk about that.
Yep.
or we could not.
Or not, yeah. Let's just pretend that's not happening.
Apparently the show's pretty good. Apparently for when this show came out, it had some like really cool stuff about the
Special
future.
effects, yeah.
No, just like really cool imagination wise stuff about the future. Anyways, we'll talk about it more in detail next week. The bad anime, which is also technically a sci-fi police anime, but it's also comedy, ecchi, and action
Oh, God.
adventure. It's called Burn Up XS.
Uh-oh.
I have never heard of that. So.
Nope.
Follow the exploits of Team Warrior, a special
Oh, God.
anti-terror wing of the Neo Tokyo Police Force.
Well, Neo Tokyo.
I like how the description had Neo Tokyo because it just makes me think that it's gonna be the same setting as Ghost in the Shell, just
And Sailor
complete
Moon.
opposite.
I wonder
Also
if-
Akira.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Neo Tokyo seems to be a common location, so perhaps it's just
That's
like
true.
the future idea of Tokyo in general, and yeah.
Yeah, anyways, Team Warrior is comprised of the habitually broke Rio, gun crazy Maya, computer specialist, Lilica, tech expert, Nanville, pilot / voyeur, or Yuji, and it's led by the
Voyeur.
enigmatic Maki. The team faces a number of missions ranging from bodyguard duty, breaking up robbery and arms rackets, and providing security for a very powerful tank. Wow.
This is gonna be like
That sounds
CSI,
really
the
cliche.
anime.
Rio and company continually thwart the terrorist aims of Ruby, an operative for a shadowy cabal of powerful men. Before the final showdown, the circumstances behind the formation of Team Warrior, blah blah, bad grammar, past will be revealed. So it aired in 1997, so it was probably like trying to capitalize off the popularity of Ghost in the Shell, but probably not because it's comedy.
Oh, good.
If this is another 009-1,
Well,
sorry, what is this anime called
gonna
again?
rage quit.
Burn Up Excess.
Oh boy.
So like
Some good
wanna look it up.
90s
the
crap.
methods I used to pick 009-1 were similar to the methods I used to pick this one.
Oh,
Just
great.
saying.
Oh.
Okay,
You guys
I
are gonna
guess-
see the animation and be like, oh.
And
it's that
my
bad.
eyes are gonna
So,
fall out of my head.
Ghost in the Shell standalone complex has 8.47 on my anime list.
Mm-hmm.
And Burn Up XS has a 6.72.
Yeah, it sounds like it's
That's
on
low
the
for
shitty
my
end of
anime
things.
list.
Yeah.
And one of
Yeah.
the first things that Google Images comes up with is fan service as
Oh.
a
Nice.
subject.
Oh, I'm seeing. Look
Mhm.
at how shiny they all are.
Oh no, are they all oiled down?
No, they're just like typically 90s shiny with their shiny
Lots of
hair.
vagina shots.
You know what? Maybe
Oh,
this will be a
God.
good thing. It'll just remind us how great 90s animation is, and we'll go back and watch, like, Trigun again or something.
Oh, the Trigun's so good.
I know, so good. I think I'm missing, like, I should go to that anime sale.
Well,
Anyway.
hey, I like to
Oh.
deliver when it's a bad anime. So.
I see titties.
Oh, I love titties.
Okay, tune in next week for Titties and Cyberpunk. Thanks for
Yes.
listening.
Ooh, don't forget social media. We're on Facebook, we're on iTunes.
Plug,
You can also
plug,
find us
plug.
on Podbean. That's what we got.
Come and talk
Yeah.
to us.
4
Thanks.
weeks at That Anime Podcast. We should be back to normal release in like another week or two, I think.
Thanks for being
A
patient.
little while.
Yeah.
We love
Thank-
you.
4 Weebs listeners are the best listeners.
So,
Bye.
Bye.
bye. You gotta tell me where episode 3 ends, and then I can be like, oh, okay.
It's
I know
only
the timeline.
It's only 12 episodes, right? Is everybody getting
Yeah.
the nice banner image?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So fancy.
Pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty.
When it works, it sure looks nice.
Yay.
Okay, I'm good to go.
Alright.
Oh, I got one more big yawn.
The
I know,
animes I have picked for next week are there's like a theme tying them together, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna be so different, like between the
Okay.
bad and the good.
That's okay.
It's been a while since we've had a really contrasted episode.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it was
One
pretty
more
funny
shuffle.
tonight when I found 009-1 on
That is
the
funny.
That was great.
on the Island of Misfit anime at Sentry Box.
I'm always confused about that little trolley they have of anime. I'd think that they would just try to, like, blow it out and then never
Well-
bring anime in again.
If you notice, all the anime is 50% off.
Yes.
But well, back in the day, Sentry Box had an actual like anime DVD and manga section. And then
Okay.
as the store got more popular, you know, they started carrying more and more board games and trading card games.
Yeah.
They just needed more space for that, and the anime just wasn't selling, so they just kind of stopped ordering it. And then,
Yeah.
you know, there was big clearances, and they did sell a lot of it. So like that one shelf that's remaining, that's
all
hidden
that's
under the
left.
stairs, is just like all the stuff no one wanted.
Every now and then I always look at it because it seems like there should
Yeah.
be some good stuff there.
Well, I actually looked at it today, and like most anime sales, they always have some Ghosts in the Shell standalone complex, but
Of
it's
course,
always
yeah.
like volume 4, 7, and 9, or something like that.
Yeah.
So I actually bought one from there tonight. I bought volume 4 of standalone complex because it's a special edition box.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And on the inside of it, there's a little Motoko Kusanagi ID card, like a little plastic laminated thing. I'm like, I'll buy it
That's
for that.
cool.
So are you putting that in your wallet?
I was just gonna
Yeah,
say you should
basically.
use it as your ID now.
I want to go to that anime sale tomorrow so bad, but like I really shouldn't. Like
Spend
Well,
your
that's
money.
coming.
I
poor.
really shouldn't.
You said you want to hang out, so just come and hang out,
Oh, I
and
don't
then,
know if
and then
that's
like
literally
cringe
possible.
because you can't buy anything.
Cringe.
That's the hard part about those sales, is unless you're going to buy something, it's like, what's even the point?
Well,
You're just going to torture yourself.
I'll just
Exactly.
follow you.
Mhm.
I'll just follow you, and then every time you reach out to touch something, I'll smack your
Slap
hand.
your hand.
No.
No.
Come on, Leah, you're here to watch.
Self-control.
It's like, come on, Leah, you're here to watch me buy anime. Yeah,
He's so sad.
At Century Box, I have on hold. There's like Volume 3 and Volume 6 standalone complex, but they aren't in the special edition one, so like the boxes are slightly different. I'm just keeping them on hold. I'm kind of like on the fence about actually buying them.
Yeah. Well, you never know. Maybe you'll find like 1, 2, like 5, 7, 8.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
Sale.
Like, I was thinking like tomorrow, if I find some other random pieces, then maybe I can combine them with the Century Box pieces to have almost maybe a set, but probably not. So.
We went to Valou Village today, and I found like volumes 4 and 5 of One Piece.
Nice.
And
Adam was the books.
Like in the movies, like the show. So,
weird.
And Adam keeps looking at it and going, "Maybe I should watch that show." And I was like, "No."
You know, there's worse shows he could watch.
It's
like 800 episodes long.
Oh, sorry. What was it?
One Piece.
Oh fuck no! Oh my god.
And it's 800 episodes, and it's not even done.
I just won't ever do it.
Adam has watched Dragon Ball like 3 times in its totality in the time that we've been together. He's watched Dragon Ball, like the entire thing, like Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball, whatever the last season is, like and Dragon Ball Z, and the other Dragon Ball. He's watched all of those 3 times. We've been together 8 years. That means he watches it every 2 years, and he just sits and watches the whole thing over again.
Interesting.
So I think One Piece would be right up his alley.
You know, apparently the One Piece books aren't that bad. I know you're jealous of the board game I found. Is Adam jealous of the board game I found?
You were jealous of the board game, right? He just nodded, yes.
What board game is this?
I found an $80 board game at Value Village for $7.
Oh wow!
And I opened it up and it hadn't even been played.
Good.
Yeah.
Board games are $80? Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, they're really good board games. This is like an intense Game of Thrones board game that takes up an entire Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. For $7, I only have to play a 10th of the game to get my money back. So.
See, I was like doubly jealous because Silver Springs is usually the Value Village we check out. And for the longest time, the board games has just been like consistently like 20 different versions of Seen It. Checkers, like 5 million different versions of chess.
Mousetrap.
Dominoes. You always have a mousetrap in there. You always have, like, a trouble or a story or, like, one of those type of things. 20 different versions of fucking Yahtzee. But not, like, good versions, like, with the fancy heads or anything. It's just, like, different cups.
To be fair, I did call Becca before I went and asked her if she wanted to come to Value Village.
Liam said that it's, like, it takes the entire day to play kind of game.
Well, maybe not entire day, like probably three hours.
What did you say?
It's like Risk. It's like Risk but better.
Liam said it's like Risk but better.
And it's Game of Thrones.
And it's Game of Thrones.
Oh, I've played that one. That is intense. That
Second
is a
edition. It's not Game of Thrones Risk. It's Anyways.
No, I know it's not Game of Thrones Risk. It's like the Game of Thrones like game where like everyone picks a house and then it basically is like Risk, but like better.
There's a few different ones. I have the second edition, which is the latest one.
It's good.
Yeah.
It looked intense. I think I've seen it at the game stores before, and it looks intense. That's all right. I found the Buffy, 2 different volumes of the Buffy Watcher's Guide.
Oh,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I bought one of those for my sister.
Nice.
Yeah. I went to Value Village to get like an old bed sheet to use as a photo background. And I found that game, a bed sheet, and I found a Voltron hat for like $2. And I know Brenna and all our sisters
really
like
into
Voltron, so I brought them a
Nice.
hat. It's like for the new Netflix series too.
That's
really?
great.
It's already a Value Village?
Yeah, right? I'm assuming it was like
shit.
someone who worked at the studio or something got a hat. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Some of the things people throw away, man.
Well, and I think especially if you go during the day, you have better luck because a lot of people go after work. So anything they put out during the day hasn't already been picked over heavily.
Got my paycheck. Time to go to Value Village.
Yeah, pretty much.
Honestly, like I went to the Goodwill by Chinook this week too, and like I'd never been to one.
Sounds
Like
pretty
holy
decent.
shit! Like for clothes,
Yeah.
I know it's not as like fun as finding random things, but seriously, it was like $28. I got a jean jacket, this like perfectly conditioned pink blazer, a shirt,
Wow.
and like
Yeah.
a romper. So anyway, I was like, holy shit.
I gotten
Yeah.
lots of my clothes from thrift
Yeah.
stores.
Honestly, I don't think I've bought a brand new pair of pants in the past like 4 years. I just go to Value Village and buy stuff there.
They're good
Like,
for pants, though.
Yeah, like
You're
I'm not
smart.
I'm not like really big on the shopping the clothes there just because clothes isn't my thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have the time and you're willing to look through it all, there's some really good stuff there.
Honestly, the Goodwill one, you hardly even need to look through it. Like they got
Yeah.
some nice stuff. Like I was
Well,
surprised and
That's
like
a good
clean
go-
and good
yeah.
condition, and you know.
Yeah, that's a good
Mhm.
location too. They always have good stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's like a little tiny like thrift
Anyway.
village building up around
I
there.
was gonna say, I'm like,
Anyway.
it's like
Can we,
10
like-
to midnight.
Yes.
I keep yawning.
Me too.
I'm still
What?
on like
Before we
marital